Welcome back to the Delaware Way. This is Larry Mente. I want you to meet Kate Banaszak. And Kate was Miss Delaware USA.
Correct.
In 2009.
Correct.
And we were still going to do a story and another thing with Larry Mente on pageants, and we're going to have you back for that. But in researching you, I came across a video that you did in 2009 complaining about the Delaware Curse because, as you said, nobody from Delaware has even placed in Miss USA. So before we talk about it, let me give the viewers a taste of that video.
Sounds good.
This is more important than about pageant girls. This is about the Delaware Curse. Now, most of you probably don't know about the Delaware Curse, but here at Miss USA, there is one state that has never placed in the almost 60 years that this pageant has been going on. One state has never placed. That's old Delaware.
So a couple of times in the video, as you just saw, you used foul language.
Yeah, I did.
How did that go over with the pageant?
Well, you know, I think some people were actually really okay with it, and others could have done without it. You know, you have your typical Southern pageant ladies who is like, oh, clutching their pearls, you know, if you dare say a curse word. But I think that year too was the first year they started doing these confessionals where you could just go into a room with the camera and say whatever you wanted. So I think they were kind of, you know, maybe opening the doors a little bit for something different, maybe to change up the pageant some.
What was the reaction from everybody else about the video?
Actually, Paula Shugart, who is the co-owner of the organization, she actually congratulated me on it and said it was the most viewed video at that time on the Miss USA site.
I can see that. It was very funny. It was very, very funny. And you said that people assumed it was scripted.
Yes, they did.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I guess it just kind of came out so naturally and it was so honest that people thought it had to be. And of course, I'm a pageant girl.
Right. So I think that last thing is it. I think people think you can't possibly come up with that on your own.
Too stupid. Too stupid.
But it wasn't. You could tell it was very natural. I was interested in a couple of things in the video. In the very beginning, you said there was a controversy about something you wrote on Facebook.
Yes.
What did you say?
I talked about how, I'll put it lightly, about how some of the girls don't always get along, that it's not necessarily a great sense of camaraderie, that there is a sense of competition. Some of the girls aren't very nice.
And you used the B word.
I did.
Yeah, but you didn't back down in the video.
No, no.
And you still maintain that that's the case.
I maintain it to this day.
And so you kind of pulled down the curtain, you pulled down the facade and showed that this is really a cutthroat thing.
It needed to be done.
And you said in the video that you're surprised that anybody was shocked at that.
I'm really shocked. I mean, I had competed in pageants for a few years prior to that. I'm like, this should be well known. You're putting 51 women together. Do you really think this is all going to go off like great? I mean, obviously not.
Now, when you get there and you have the sash that says Miss Delaware, are you treated differently?
Yes. I mean, comparatively speaking, like, you are no Texas. You are no Florida. You are no California.
So, well, wait a second. Now, could it be, is it tradition that makes them more important? I don't mean to use that word, but in their eyes, or is it the fact that they serve a bigger audience and they get bigger ratings for the TV?
I think it's maybe a little bit of both. And two, leading up to the pageant, it's, you know, there's a lot of press releases and things, and some states will be able to put their girl out there a little bit more than some of the smaller states are. So people are more aware of who Miss California is and what she does and, you know, everything about Miss California, whereas Miss Delaware, I mean, what are you going to do? Like, no one knows who Miss Delaware is by the time she shows up there, you know? So I think it's a little bit of both.
I want to play one other part of the video before we continue the conversation, because the part I thought was the funniest was when you were telling people that they may not see you in the group picture.
Yes.
Let me play this.
I'm thinking, you know, on finals night, you might not even see me on stage because I'm sure if they need, you know, an extra spot filled in with stage crew, they're going to be coming to me. I mean, and You know, I hear, Delaware, get out of the shot. Delaware, get in the back. I think next I'm probably going to hear, Delaware, you're on crew to help Hawaii with her gown.
So did you know going into it you weren't going to win?
I thought that I had a shot, but I would say by day 2 or 3 of being there, I knew that this wasn't going to work out necessarily.
Why?
In my
Was it
favor.
because you're from Delaware, or was there something else?
I don't think it was so much I was from Delaware, because, I mean, eventually Delaware has to place. Eventually they have to, right? I mean, maybe they don't, but...
You know what? I used to be a Chicago Cubs fan, and guess what I found out? You're not due. It may never happen.
It's not owed to us, unfortunately.
Right, no.
Yeah. Well, I figured I had a shot, but again, you know, a couple days in, all the girls were so serious and just so like focused and so in that pageant mold, and that was not me. I knew immediately. I'm like, I almost had like a what am I doing here, you know, sort of moment. You know,
Right.
I'm calling home and telling my dad, like, I think this might have been a mistake. Like, I'm not like any of these girls. This just doesn't make sense.
And you said
know?
that we heard you curse a couple times in the video. You said you were cursing when you were there. Nobody else was?
No.
Because they were on all the time. And,
Yes.
and you said something that was fascinating to me, that the chaperones actually get a say in whether you're going to, so it's not just what you see in the pageant, it's everything.
Everyone is watching you all of the time.
And what are you doing now?
I am a manager of veterinary hospital, and I love it. Just kind of return back to normal life a little bit after.
Are you still doing videos?
I'm not, but I'm open to it.
Yeah,
I'm
you
open
should.
to-
It was really good. It was excellent. And the fact that you were 24 when you did it, and it was so funny, and you were so natural. As I told you, I watched with my wife. My wife said immediately she should be on TV.
Oh.
So congratulations on that, and congratulations, you're getting married as well.
Yes.
And you're going to stick around for And Another Thing to talk
Absolutely.
about the pageants in general.
Wouldn't miss it.
But I definitely want to, well, you know what? As we go to break, because I'm going to have some final thoughts after this, as we go to break, let's play a little bit more of your video.
All right.
I've told a few of the girls about the Delaware Curse and that we've never placed here. And they say, oh, well, it's okay because, you know, my state, we won, God, 10 years ago. And to that I have to say,